Hola! We're back. Back from Portugal. We took a week off to explore the great wines of, sorry, get rid of that. The great wines of Portugal. We spent a week in the Douro Valley, Chef, in Portugal. It was an amazing week.
It was perfect in every way. It was indescribable. The landscape, the terracing, the olive trees, the citrus orchards, Roman built towns and streets.
Man,
incredible. When are we going back? The food
was abundant.
The hospitality.
Yes.
What a country. And what a region.
And you know what? It was all just kind of, there wasn't like amusement parks and neon lights, and it's like these tiny little villages where you interacted with human beings, and you drank wine and you broke bread, and a lot of it. And
great stories, interactions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so old school. It was
nothing. You're right. There's nothing plastic about it. Everything was genuine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great experience. Well, this is Chef Chris. This is Ed. We do this video every week. We explore the world of wines, and so we think it's important, even though we're at a winery, to make our own wine, which I just got to taste some of the new Riesling. It's really tasty.
Nice.
Tyler and I were doing some tasting down in the cellar. So, we make wine, but we think it's important for the world of wine to be represented. And I'm sure that you can find plenty of places to click on YouTube. We happen to be the only one that actually does the wine pickup, though. So
that's why we're number one.
Yeah. So those of you watching probably have a couple of bottles of red wine
and some treats
and some delicious food to go along with this video.
So everybody else is really really need to step up their game.
They're spending too much time on production value when they should be giving the wine.
When you could actually be experiencing what we're talking about, not just being some hypothetical experiment.
We did film a video in Portugal just for fun. It wasn't an ONS wine tasting, but we did film one. Eventually we'll get that loaded up.
I tried to load it, but it was so large. We apparently we thought for 50 minutes.
Yeah,
so I'm having trouble formatting it. But Mrs. Wishart did an amazing job with.
We actually had a production
it's
crew on that.
I mean, it's kind of staggering all the professionalism is intertwined in this video. So I got to figure out.
Well, we'll get you something loaded up eventually for those of you that want to see our.
We might just email it to you.
It's kind of like those people that bring over videos from their holidays and nobody wants to watch it. You might feel that way.
Although we did a formal tasting.
We did do a tasting.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't just ramble, and but there was plenty of ramble too.
Yeah.
But what I liked about it is a good recap of the trip. I mean, it was in the moment. It's a lot of rambling.
Yeah, that's what we do. We ramble. Like for now, for instance.
Yeah,
it's a great example of it.
Take this moment.
Mm-hmm. Ramble on. So we are going to, taste some wine with you. And we're not going to taste Portuguese wines. I know you probably expect that, so it's Portuguese hype. But don't worry, we taste Portuguese wines all the time. We taste wines from all over the world. We're not going to stop. But we did have these set and ready for our return. And we're still waiting on those certain Portuguese wines that we're going to do a video on to arrive. We couldn't really fill up our suitcase with enough wine for all of our customers.
Well, we could have, but the shipping cost more than the wine, so that was really the impediment.
Yeah.
They're real proud of their shipping.
Yeah, it was 180 euros to ship a case of wine.
And that was just
that's
in
not
one
including
place.
the wine.
That was one place, right? That was just in one place. And I mean, it's incredibly expensive to ship. Like when we were in Oregon, we just bought an extra suitcase and brought it back. But it really wasn't an option.
Yeah. Although my wine tool got seized in Philadelphia.
Although if you check it, it won't get seized. If we had just paid the $50, we could have brought back all the wine we want.
Yeah.
In hindsight.
Yeah.
Next time.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we just have the distributor deliver it to the winery?
That's why you're running the front, I guess. All
Well,
those
sooner-
good ideas. I hit everything with a hammer.
Soon the wine will be here,
You got the
and
new
it will
ones.
cost us very little to deliver it to you. 'Cause
Which in turn costs a lot less to you.
we're all about value on these videos. You don't see us doing $100 bottles, although we would if you were
We just
willing to-
did with the Catania.
Oh, that's a good point. Never mind.
And we
Okay.
should do something like that again in a couple months.
Okie doke. I'm
Or
for it.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So we are going to drink these wines, I promise. So we're going to start off. We've got an interesting transition here. We're going to go with a Sangiovese Merlot blend and then go into a Merlot. So we're going to start off in Tuscany. This is a Montepulciano, Rosso di Pulciano, and from Toscano. Poliziano is the producer. They make some really high-end Sangioveses. This is kind of a drink it now version of their wine. You know, you might call it an entry-level Super Tuscan. You can call it a table wine. You can call it delicious. That's exactly what I'm going to call it because it really is that. It's very polished for these price points of under $20, and I think it's a real great value, bang for the buck. And Chef and I were looking into this wine, but actually both of these wines, because we have a big wine pairing dinner this weekend, and we were serving some duck, and so we were kind of aiming. We're looking for a wine for our duck, and we had kind of pinned down these two for it.
Well, I'm telling you, this polished, you could not come up with a better word. This is beautifully polished, refined, silky.
Yes.
You know, these are all $80 attributes sitting in that value cap. I mean, this is a great wine.
There's a beautiful acidity that's hidden here that
Mhm.
you don't really detect, but my mouth's watering and subtle tannins. You know, this is the kind of wine that would go great with so many kinds of food. You're gonna get some fruit here, and actually, surprisingly for me, I mean, I'm not surprised that there's gonna be red fruit in a Merlot Sangiovese blend, but there's dark fruit in here.
Oh, big time.
And
yeah.
I don't typically get that. Of course, I understand the plum aspect of it. That makes sense to me. But there's some darker, richer fruits in here that I don't typically, personally, pick up from these varietals. And so that was a really nice, you know, something nice to get out of that. And
It's
you're
a
gonna
dark cherry, a stewed cherry, not
Yeah.
a bright cherry.
Yeah.
You know, not a fresh. But
Yeah.
there's some great.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the red that I'm getting.
Right.
But you know, you could even say like a.
Like an underripe blackberry, maybe, or something
It's
like
exactly
that? Like a tart
what-
blackberry.
it's a tart blackberry, but with a little spice on it.
Yeah.
You know, like before the cinnamon or the nutmeg or clove is stewed into it.
Oh yeah.
You know,
So it's sitting up on
it's
top.
sitting on top.
Yeah.
And you just take a bite. It's great.
Yeah, that's a great. Oh, speaking of sitting on top, that curry powder sprinkled on the mango
And
ice
the
cream.
ice cream.
That's one of the.
I was
dishes
showing
that
Robert, you know, chef at Fremlin, who brings us our charcuterie.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I told him about. He's like, man, how was Portugal? I was like, I gotta tell you about this too. That's the first thing I said.
Yeah.
I was like, you gotta make some mango ice cream,
Yeah.
sprinkle some curry, and do some cucumber gel.
Right.
I'm like, it'll change your
Like
life.
it was so bizarre, but yeah, you're right. It was different.
And the first thing I told him about, I mean, it's like the door hadn't shut, and I'm like, mango curry ice cream and tuna.
It was so interesting how they sat it up on top. You this as a chef, I'm always thinking about incorporating flavor, not having a dry spice
Right.
sit up on top.
Sitting on
But
top.
the spice was so fresh.
Fresh, exactly.
It wasn't like these, you know, it wasn't like something you get off a grocery store shelf where it tastes gritty or dirt texture.
Or
It
stewed.
it melted into the ice cream.
Well, and because curry's always stewed. You know, it's stewed, it's simmered in coconut milk, or it's done in tomatoes and coriander, or it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's always stewed. I mean, you never see that. And you're right, the brightness of it, because you got that with the mango ice cream. You know, you could tell there was a little coconut and cream in the ice cream, so you didn't need to put it in the ice cream to do. It was just,
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
it was brilliant.
We,
Absolutely brilliant.
We've been known to drift, and we will keep
Sorry.
drifting. That was on me. I shouldn't have brought it up, but God, it
I'm
was so
glad you
good. I'll
did.
bring it up to
Because
the
now
rest
I'm
of my life.
thinking about it.
But the point is here that I will bring up, the reason why wines are so important to Chris and I is because they bring memory to the forefront. there's so many great things associated with wine, other than how it makes you feel, of course.
Well, of course,
how
but
it
it
tastes,
is. It's a
but
liquid
also-
nostalgia.
But it really does. It's a memory bank, and oftentimes things you've forgotten about can be jarred into your brain. And,
It's like it's almost there are moments in time, but there are also points of demarcation. It's like when you bring up a certain wine, it's like, oh, that reminds me when we were here and here and there and there. So it's not just a general nostalgia of like sipping a rosé and going, oh, summertime. I mean, it's like a legit, like specific memory of
Sure.
of this and that. So
Absolutely.
it's really cool.
So enjoy these wines and remember these wines if you can. I think this wine is worth remembering. Poliziano is a producer that, like I said, they are Sangiovese. They do other things, but that's what you want to get. And
Yep.
this is a great example of how delicious and how affordable their portfolio is. I mean, there's certainly plenty of things up above this that I would recommend absolutely stepping up, spending some more for their higher end stuff, because they're great values as well. They're going to get more into nuance with their higher end wines. This one's pretty straightforward, but you know what? Straightforward doesn't have to be simple. This is not as.
Oh no,
yeah,
this man may easily are identified more so
Right.
than you're not speaking to the lack of complexity.
Right.
It's just it's easy to go 2-3.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a wine that this style of wine, I think, is something that Chris and I would drink outside of work.
Absolutely.
Just on a personal level.
Big
We're
time.
we're showcasing wines on their own merits, not on our own taste. So that's really important to be good stewards of wine, is to understand why each wine is good and special.
Big time.
And even if you don't like it, you need to understand it in terms of what we do for a living. You can do whatever you want. You
Yeah.
don't have to like it, but I'm just saying we like this is like a personal style for Chef Chris and I. That you might think that every wine that we're showing is wines that we drink on a regular basis. That is not the case. It's more about, we have a great appreciation for the wines that we show. We think that the wines that we put in front of you are special, important, great value, and should be shared with the right people. And these kind of wines should be shared with Chris and I.
Absolutely. I mean, like in the morning, afternoon, and night.
That's right. Boy, we did a lot of that in Portugal. Ooh-wee. Drink.
Drink. I gotta tell you, Monday, when I left here, after we and went to the store, did a few things. I mean, at like 4 in the afternoon, I'm like, my day's over. I mean, the jet lag, the coming down,
20 hours to travel.
all that. I mean, it was just like somebody pulled a plug, and I was done. I mean, I just laid around. I mean, I did the absolute minimum Monday night. Just it was just.
Yeah.
People talked about it before, but I'd never experienced that level of travel fatigue and disorientation. It was disorienting.
Right.
I felt great Tuesday morning, but Monday was when I got in here and worked Monday morning, it felt totally normal. But in the afternoon, it hit. It was weird.
I took an opposite approach, Chef.
How so?
I had some of our favorite guests, the Wagners, invited us.
That's right.
and
That's right.
They invited us over for dinner. I mean, if anybody knows Manju, she's one heck of a cook.
God, what a great cook.
And she made like 9 amazing items, and they were all so good. And also, by the way,
there's enough food to for a week.
And we were already we were talking about how much we'd eat, and
we were
like, we're gonna stop eating when we get back.
We can't do this when we get back.
Well,
hey, Manju.
Yeah, well, we had these dinner plans, and we're trying to squeeze it in because they're leaving for like a month, and then I'm leaving for Italy. We just wanted to get together before we couldn't, and so it was a great time. And so I forgot about my jet lag and got drunk. We ate and drank.
Stuff.
Oh, it was fantastic, and we were.
And you were just back in the vacation
just
there.
like,
right
my
back
God,
in.
Like, I'm doing the opposite of what I said I would.
Yeah.
So maybe tonight I'll be smart.
Don't hold your breath.
Right. Well, anyway, we were having a fantastic time, whether it's on this side of the pond or the other side of the pond. We have our fun.
Life is good wherever you are.
Chef, this beautiful Sangiovese 2021. What do you think you can do?
We got a great little fun dish. We're gonna do dolmadas with this.
Oh, really?
And some beautiful feta from Looking Glass Creamery. So we're gonna have a fun, really more of a Greek Cypriot thing, but Italy's right there. It works.
Absolutely.
It works, and obviously the grape leaves and the feta are gonna be delicious with that.
Absolutely. I think that'll work stunningly beautiful, Chef. What a nice treat. You haven't done those in forever.
Yeah, a little off the beaten path.
That party you did with the Greek food, where you did
Yeah, all Greek food, yeah.
Was that the last time you made those?
Yes, and Isabel gave me a little coaching on the spanakopita.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, because she learned it from Yaya.
Yeah.
So she she's like the keeper of the family recipe there, and so I incorporated some of her stuff, not all of it, because they're super slow when they make everything.
Yeah.
Because they're making it for just the family.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, and the spanakopita turned out great. The domatas turned out great, and what else did we do? Oh God, that creamy feta. Becca ate a pail of it. And I remember like a few weeks later, she did something sweet or was feeling down, and I made some for her, and like
picked her right back up.
Just like immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pita and creamy feta, we took yogurt and lemon, garlic, pureed it and added the feta into it. It was like
you just beat it with a paddle.
Beat it with I did it in a food processor, but you could beat it with a paddle. And it really was addictive.
Yeah.
We did all kinds of other stuff too, but that was great.
What kind of ratio to yogurt to cheese are you using on that?
So I was probably going 3-to-1 feta to yogurt.
Yeah.
Because I like mine a little thicker.
Sure.
I don't want it to be falling off the pita and that sort of thing. So somebody might do more half and half, but I like the feta. To me, the yogurt's a tool, not an ingredient.
It kind of fluffs it up.
It's there to keep that fluffy.
And it adds a little acidity too.
A great acidity, and the lemon and the garlic there in the background are great. And then of course, I was drizzling olive oil and fresh herbs over it right when it went out, and
beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. I love Greek food.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful.
And we did remember we did the lamb kebabs. The spiced. We did the spiced lamb kebabs. It's so good.
Yeah, lamb. We had a lot of lamb in Portugal.
We did, and like one of the butcher shops. They had 4 lambs hanging up there, dry aged.
Yeah.
The whole lambs, not legs.
Every store had butchers and sausage makers and fish mongrels. It was fascinating. All right, so how about this? Yeah, now this is a big one.
I forgot we switched lines. And I took a sip. I was like, whoa! I was like, oh yeah, we moved on.
Okay, so you're gonna see a difference in these two, just like Chris did, and that's great. So this is Ancient Peaks, of course. Ancient Peaks is a Paso property. They've been doing, I think, roughly about 20 years. So I might be off on that, but I feel like it's been at least 20 years. I've been in most of my professional career, I've been serving their wines, and that kind of back when Zins were blowing up. I was like, I had their Zin on my list forever. Good, great Chardonnays.
Great cabs. I had Ancient Peaks cab on Trio's list for like 4 years. I never took it off.
Yeah. And like they have I don't know, 15 freaking grapes they grow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Every grape you can think of, they grow it, which is awesome. And that's part of this region, which I love about Paso, is they have so many different varietals that they're growing. And, they have certainly their own style. Now, this is the Santa Margarita Hills Ranch, sub-AVA of Paso, which is in the very bottom of Paso. So it's a very different than the rest of the Paso. Paso's huge. And they're still trying to break it up, and it's gonna
still the most undeveloped AVA in California.
I feel like it is, and they're gonna have like 50 sub AVAs. I think. It's just gonna have to break, and that's okay. They're feeling it out.
It's not uncommon to have that.
Yeah, Napa's just getting broken down into a tiny little thing, and it needed to.
And Willamette, when we were in Willamette, they were on their 4th sub AVA in the Willamette Valley.
Yeah, they just gotta. The more the wines become consistent, the more you start understanding they're consistent for certain reasons and certain aspects, sun angle, soil type.
And they've earned that specific designation. And the Sonoma people get up in arms. I mean, because they really want their coastal wines.
They got their Sonoma coast,
and they really pushed
that.
hard for that because
it took them a long time.
But the coastal wines were so distinctive.
Yeah.
And they were so different.
Completely different environment.
Completely different. Yeah. And they're like, we can't continue to market this as Sonoma. Right. I mean, we deserve their
it's for the actual consumer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you want to know, I would want to know if I'm buying a Sonoma or a Sonoma Coast.
Absolutely.
It's significantly different style of wine.
And your styles and price points and the things that go into it. So, I mean, you want to, I mean, it's good for everybody to have these designations.
Definitely. Yeah. So, we're, Paso's breaking things down. The regions haven't been really what I would say rolling off the tongue in terms of, there's lines cut out, but they aren't definitive in everybody's mind yet. We haven't got, it just takes a while for the public to understand it. And how that will happen is having consistent styles out of each one of those regions. And what I can tell you from this region is expect intensity. Just Chris's reaction said it all. Ancient Peaks is known for having really robust wines anyway. This is one of their longest growing season regions. So things get super extracted, super, honestly, high alcohol, which it doesn't taste like it. I don't think it doesn't taste alcoholic, but their wines are going to have more alcohol because the wines get more developed, the grapes rather get more developed. And they do use a beautiful amount of oak to enhance and frame it even further. Now, I was saying that I don't, usually you think about Merlot. This is a Merlot from Ancient Peaks 2020, if I didn't mention. And it is certainly oaked, and I always say, I expect red fruit and plums out of Merlot.
Sure.
This has so much dark fruit in it. This is crazy.
There's no plum in this. It's all dark fruit. It's wonderful.
It's absolutely wonderful. Velvety, big, really big.
Although, do you consider plum red or black?
Great question. Yeah,
because I could go either way.
I think you can.
I think you're right.
Depending on the fruit. So for me, I think most of us here in our neck of the woods, the plums you get in your grocery stores are underripe red.
Yes, underripe,
and that's the typical plum that we kind of think of. But if you've ever had a plum tree where things get ripe and juicy and darker style plums, that would certainly
fall into that. Yeah, but I'm thinking.
I think generally
go red.
People think it is,
but
you can just say a dark plum.
Dark plum, and a lot of people, I think it's like a plum nectarine. Nectarine certainly I would put in the red fruit category. And I think plums get lumped into that a lot as well.
Yeah, so we've got. I'm just looking to see what they put on here because I didn't read the back. They're saying that it's got some black cherry, plum, and blackberry, and I would agree with that. But to me, it is very black fruit, which.
Well, they're saying black cherry, not cherry, right?
Yeah. So that is certainly all these. It doesn't really matter.
Mocha and cinnamon. Who cares?
Yeah.
We're just being geeks.
But what I would say about all of their wines is they always over deliver. Whatever the varietal is, their Chardonnay is fantastic. We've done that here at the tastings. I don't know if we've done a video, but we've certainly done it here in person. And you can trust Ancient Peaks. They have some really high-end stuff too. If you're looking for some really impressive wines in the kind of $80 to $100 range, they certainly have those as well. They're going to be around for a very, very long time, and we're grateful for that. So if you're interested in furthering your Ancient Peaks knowledge, check out their website. They got a massive portfolio. We kind of cherry pick what we can from our distributors. I will say this, I've got 2 meetings next week with 2 new distributors.
So exciting.
So we're going to have some even more angles, I guess, in different parts of the world.
Growing your repertoire.
Our goal is to expose everyone out there to as much wine as possible so you can really fully appreciate that we are in the greatest times for wine. And I'm okay with having a favorite wine, but to not explore at least have a new wine at least once or twice a week. My gosh,
You would be remiss.
Yeah, it's you're missing the boat. It's really been it's a special time that we're in. And also, I met with Andy this morning, and we've got
Hey,
another
Andy.
wine dinner coming up with him. He's also got one of his. I think we're going to shoot for May for his wine dinner, which
Love it.
it was probably the most talked about wine dinner we did was with
Completely
Andy.
agree. Completely agree.
And he's also going to be leading up another one, and he's got 2 containers that are supposed to land at the end of April. So we'll have a whole fresh
exciting.
batch of wine to talk about in May. And then he said he's also got a winemaker coming in August.
Well, there's no reason we can't do
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
a year
Yeah.
with him. I mean, we could just, I don't think people get tired of it.
Mhm.
And at the price points we do these things, they're not. It's not like New Year's. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's just a wine dinner.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Yeah,
great.
they're not super formal. They're
No,
certainly
not
not
at all.
expensive.
Not expensive and not formal,
Yeah.
and their wines are affordable,
Yeah.
which helps. It's not like a lot of places. Wine dinner is like, oh, it's a once in a lifetime
Oh, yeah.
occasion. This
Yeah.
is like Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
that's the way we roll. We
Yeah.
like to keep it affordable. Now, Chef, we've talked about how big and delicious this is. I also want to make one note that as big as it is, it finishes very
Light as a
clean,
feather.
light.
Your first sip, and I didn't mean to overreact, but I'd forgotten we'd switched wines.
Oh
And
no,
so it was
I thought it was perfect.
I was like, what happened to me? This does finish beautifully. The big fruit does not it dissipates in a good way.
Yes.
Sometimes you get those big petite syrahs, those big zins, they catch you up front
They
and it
stay
never
with
stops.
you.
It's like you're like,
Yeah.
where's my water? This doesn't do that. You get that big explosion of fruit, but it's balanced and it just dissipates, and you're left with something more silky than sharp.
Yeah.
It's very, very nice.
Yeah, I think also.
And testament to ancient peaks, they do everything well.
I agree, and there's a part of that is another well-developed hidden acidity here, because that helps with the finish.
Wash it right out.
Wash
Yeah,
it
yeah.
out.
It keeps your palate producing
Right.
fluid that's moving it on along.
Exactly. So, what do you think about food-wise?
Well, honestly, when I saw you with that Merlot, I had one thing in mind, but I'm going to switch it up only because we got to do some lamb.
All
We're
right.
talking about
Yeah.
because being in the same box too, it's going to go well. But I did
Oh, that's true.
so the lamb that I made today, well, prepared today. It's not cooked, but I'm marinating it right now. A little bit different, I've been kind of stuck on this chili lamb kind of thing. But
Yeah.
what I did is I did parsley, lemon, garlic, dill. Made a real. It's not pesto, but it's similar to it without the cheese. And then I poured that all over the lamb, salt and pepper, mixed it all together so it's marinating in
Right.
that.
Like a wet paste.
A
really.
wet paste,
Yeah.
exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah, wet marinade.
And so we're gonna make that into lamb balls, and I think that'll be great with this wine, and
and
to go
it
back and
matches up.
forth, and to go back and
Yeah.
forth in your box. So that'll be terrific.
That's fantastic.
And the feta is, I guess I'm gonna put extra feta, because
Oh, sure.
that'll share together.
And who doesn't
I'm sorry,
like
excuse
extra
me.
feta?
Oh, and that artisan feta too. I mean, it's like, I love all feta. You've never met a feta I didn't love, but I love the creaminess of that local feta.
I feel the same way about feta. Bad feta is still good feta.
I like bad feta. If you're not gonna finish yours, slot it on down here.
Yep.
But it is striking how the creaminess of that, which is going to lend itself beautifully to the dolmas and the lamb. It's going to be terrific.
Mhm.
It's going to be fun. I'm ready to eat it right now. I don't want to wait.
Well, another 2 delicious wines.
Yeah,
Very-
exceptional.
Yeah, very affordable. They're bringing the thunder. We're in such weird weather pattern right now where it's cool and it's warm, it's cool and it's warm.
We're in the desert.
Right. These are the kind of wines that I think you can enjoy this time of year. Actually, this is so refreshing on the end. I don't think I don't think you should avoid it during the warm weather.
I don't think so either.
Also,
I don't
because
think
it's
so
so
either.
it's so I think it's so fruity. It'll be so great with all those like barbecue things that you do.
Oh, believe it. And this is grill season. Even though the most North Carolina thing ever, I came outside and there was frost on the, you know, like there's pollen all over the hood of my truck with frost on it.
Right.
I mean, if that isn't North
Pollen
Carolina,
and frost.
frosted pollen.
The perfect.
But to me, we're getting into legit grill season.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be, you don't want to leave this off your portfolio. It's a great,
Yeah,
great
absolutely.
wine.
And of course, this goes with all your pastas, all your burgers, any kind of, I would say, duck. Just in case you're making some duck.
I was at Lowe's Foods yesterday, and they had lamb chops and duck,
Nice.
which was great. I think I've bought duck at Aldi before.
Yeah.
I don't know if
they
it's
got
there
hold
every
up.
day.
They
Yeah,
got
they hold up, but I know a lot of people are kind of intimidated by that.
Yeah.
Where they'll cook
You
it
like making the comfy.
Well, I do. Yes, but I think we'll have to do a video on that.
Yeah, let's do that.
That'd be fun because it's a lot cheaper to buy hold up too.
Oh yeah.
You just got to put some time to
And you
it.
get so many products out of it.
So what we'll do one day soon is we'll shoot this up there at the chef's table and we'll break down a duck and show you how to have zero waste, 100% yield off of everything you do with it. But it was cool. I was surprised. Normally it's really cookie cutter over there, but they had duck breasts. They had cryovac lamb chops. I mean, it was great.
Awesome.
So that'd be you don't have to have something mundane. I did a shepherd's pie. One of my friends helped out a lot with the dogs while we were in Portugal, and his favorite thing is shepherd pie. They had ground lamb and ground wagyu beef or Kobe, whatever. So I made a shepherd's pie with lamb and Kobe
Nice.
and cheese and potatoes. So I gotta give that to him later today.
Where are you keeping that stuff?
We get to go to Portugal.
Anyway, I'm not gonna steal.
I gotta tell you, I
pie.
did. You can steal one. I might actually have an extra.
Yes. All right.
I love shepherd's pie.
There.
Remember that time we made shepherd's pie and new potatoes?
Yes.
Where we built it into
Yeah.
individual new potato cups.
Yeah. We used to do all kinds of crazy stuff.
We gotta revisit that.
Well, thank y'all for all your support, watching our videos. Be sure to like them, make comments if there's anything you'd like for us
Share
to
it.
try. Yeah, share
Tell
it
a
with your
friend about
friends. And most importantly, come see us when you can. We'd love to have you here in person. We do 4 wines in person every Thursday night. And we have delicious food that Chef prepares, and we talk about wine. It's a fun and social event.
It's great.
And
I hate that we're not. Tomorrow night we're doing it up front at the
chef's
the old chef's table because we have an event downstairs. I hate that event's going because I really want to do it up front again like we did for Catania. So.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know with all these big groups on the books.
It'll be hard.
It'll be hard.
We're gonna be rocking and socking them.
Every now and then we'll keep you posted when we're gonna do that again.
We have a very busy week, but keep us in mind for all the things you do. Chef's tables on Sunday nights been really popular. We got another big one this Sunday, and if y'all are interested in that, you can sign up too.
And when you get back from Italy, we'll probably have some news about some different dates on that. It'll be fun.
That's right. And thank you once again.
Thank
See you
you
next
so
week.
much. Obrigado.